What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be going over all the books I picked up for New Comic Book Day, January 12th, 2022. While I would normally be going over my top 10 list, instead, I'm going to be going over a top 5 list. My shop did get shorted on some of my books, and I only managed to grab 7 this week. The ones I missed out on were from AWA, Knighted, issue number 3. From Image, it was Undiscovered Country, issue number 18. And then Marvel's Miss Marvel Beyond the Limit, issue number 2. A couple of those books I actually was really looking forward to, but they are coming, so eventually I'm going to be talking about them at some point. But man, Undiscovered Country, it was the end of the arc. I was so hyped for this issue, but I'll eventually read it. But before I get started off on this top 5 list, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that's going to keep you up to date on all of the latest releases. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on this list. So I hope you all are having a fantastic day so far today and you were able to pick all your New Comic Book Day books up on time. Sadly, I only was able to get 7 issues this week. My shop did get shorted on some stuff, and it really sucks because some of those issues were ones I was really looking forward to. Specifically, the one from AWA, we had Knighted, issue number 3. That series has been phenomenal, and same with Image's Undiscovered Country, issue number 18. While I wasn't a big fan of this latest arc, I was really excited to see how they wrap it up. And for you DC fans, I have been taking in all of your suggestions. Sadly, I don't have anything for you today, but I do plan on making a separate video of stuff I've been picking up. But I did take your suggestions. A lot of people did recommend this omnibus to me, and yes, it was an omnibus, so it's not even single issues. I picked it up. So we've got DC's The Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 1. This is the front. We've got the side. Sadly, I didn't open this one up yet. I am really looking forward to it. But this book did have a $150 price tag on it, and it says that it covers The Books of Magic Series 1, 1 through 4, Mr. E, 1 through 4, The Children's Crusade, 1 and 2, Arcana, The Books of Magic Annual, issue number 1, Vertigo Visions, Dr. Ocula, issue number 1, The Lot, from Vertigo Rave 1, The Books of Magic Series 2, 1 through 32, The Books of Fairy, Oberon's Tale, 1 through 3, with a brand new foreword by series writer John Nay Ryber, and an introduction by series writer and artist Peter Gross. So I'm really looking forward to it. I told you, I'm trying to get my DC knowledge up. We're going to keep going with it. And like I said, keep making those suggestions. And now, getting onto this list, like I said before, these books were fantastic. I had a great New Comic Book Day despite missing out on a couple key issues for me. Even the 2 books that didn't make the top 5 list, I still really enjoyed. And with that being said, as always, just be aware, there's probably going to be spoilers. But I do my best to give you a little bit of a heads up. And even if I don't do that, I'm going to put a little spoiler tag down at the bottom so you know to skip forward. So with that being said, these are the 2 books that did not make the top 5 list. They are in no particular order. I honestly really like both of them. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with either of them either. This first one today, we've got Marvel's The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 85. This is cover A. This one pretty much picks up right where the last one left off. We still have Ben Reilly. He's fighting Doc Ock in this one. And Doc Ock kind of fills him in on a lot of info about the Beyond Corporation, and it gets Ben Reilly thinking a different way about the whole corporation and everything he's been doing just in general. I thought the issue started off a little cheesy. I wasn't a big fan of it, but then moving forward, I really like the direction of it again. And man, I'm telling you, this new volume stays being fantastic. If you're a Spidey fan, you definitely need to pick this one up. Moving this one out of the way, the only other one that did not make the top 5 list this week is AWA's Hotel, Volume 2, issue number 2. This is cover A, and I'm a huge fan of this series. I'm a huge fan of John Lees as a writer, and you guys know I love my AWA stuff. That's just how good these books were. I was a huge fan of this one. And this is the type of series where if you're not reading it and you decide to maybe just pick this issue up, or you pick the first one up, you really don't know exactly how the story itself is written. So I know a lot of stories, you got to wait till the ending for the big payoff, and that's kind of how this one is too, except each issue is written in its own unique way that kind of all comes together at the very end, and it's one of those like aha moments, like wow, they really did that. Every issue just leads us to the end and it comes together, and seriously, it is absolutely fantastic. John Lees kills it on this one. I love it, but I'm telling you, that's just how good these 5 books were, and now let's talk about them. And here we go to kick this top 5 list off first. We've got coming in at number 5. This is Marvel's Dark Ages, issue number 4. This is cover A, and I love this series. I've talked about it in my live streams, some of the previews videos. I'm not a huge fan of Marvel events and just some of their mini-series because they kind of feel like a money grab, just a gimmick sometimes. But this one has been so good. Every time I finish an issue, it feels complete. I feel like I got my money's worth. And I'm just really excited to see how they wrap this story up. I think it's only a 5-issue mini run, and now it makes sense with this 4th issue because this one, so this is going to have a little bit of spoiler in it, didn't have a lot of stuff going on. More towards the end, there was a lot of action, but leading up until that, we saw all of the characters come together, and I just love the plot progression of each issue. I love just the characters interacting with each other, and they're basically just trying to figure out everything to restore the world and just figure out how to fix things and now take down Apocalypse. That's what this one was. They're trying to figure out a game plan and go from there and just restore order to the world. Loved it. Highly suggest it. Marvel has killed it on this one so far. But for those reasons, we've got Dark Ages issue number 4 coming in at number 5. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 4. This is Images. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Issue number 3. This is cover A. So if you've watched any of my top 10 videos, you're already going to know that I haven't really talked too highly about this series. I said the artwork is okay. I really don't like how the story itself is set up, where they kind of introduce a plot or they get a little bit of a story going and then boom, you flip the page, new chapter, and everything that they just talked about is already set in motion. Wasn't a huge fan of that. Didn't really hate it though. And then with the story itself, we still don't really know anything that's going on. We don't know what happened in the world. We don't know about all these different groups of strangers and how they're kind of coming together and just the whole family aspect to it. We're just kind of in the dark with it still. They're just proceeding on this plot and they're trying to find Sid and whatever she's doing because we still don't know what happened to her either. Now with this issue, this is where things begin to change with me. I like this one a lot. It was extremely weird. It was creepy. And that whole thing that they did at just the old people home, they saw all the TVs, they made home videos. And what happened to a couple of the family members once they joined that old people family, it's really weird. I really liked it. And they introduced the strangers finally too. I'm not sure if they showed them at all in the first 2 issues, but I know they did reference them. They're extremely creepy too. Now the family is off still trying to find Sid. But those 2 groups, they are definitely going to be playing a role going forward. I cannot wait to see what they do with it. So with that being said, I'm not saying I highly suggest this series. The first 2 issues were very okay. But this one was a game changer to me, and going forward, I'm really looking forward to it. So for those reasons, we've got What's the Furthest Place from Here, issue number 3, coming in at number 4. And now we're down to the final 3 issues of the week, and you guys are going to be very surprised by this pick. We've got coming in at number 3 this week, this is Images, Stillwater, issue number 12. This is cover A. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, I haven't really talked too highly of this series so far. Every time in my previews and in my top 10s, I say, nah, it's okay. I keep going with it because I'm a big fan of Chip Zdarsky. I really like the beginning, but I always told myself, where can they truly go with this story because they're confined to the city of Stillwater? I think I liked it more when I thought it was just a mini-series, but when I found out it was ongoing, I kind of thought to myself like, oh, well, I don't know what they can do with it. I thought they could pretty much wrap it up in a nice mini-series, but Chip Zdarsky, I'm going to ride this one out. I'm going to see what he can do with it. And as of late, I honestly haven't really enjoyed a lot of the issues. I thought they were very okay. Kind of forgettable too. I don't really remember what happened in issue number 11. I kind of had to backtrack and flip through it pretty quick before I read this one. And this one was an awesome issue. A lot of things that they've been talking about and leading up to all happened in this issue. A ton of action. We got our 2 different sides. They're trying to take down the leaders of Stillwater right now, try to restore order to the town itself. But man, a lot of other crazy things happened in this issue. Check this one out if you're a Stillwater fan. I know in the comments section, I think in the last previews video, or maybe it was even the last top 10, there was a lot of comments saying they were going to drop it. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. If you're on the series already, you got to pick this one up. It was awesome. With that being said, we've got Stillwater, issue number 12, coming in at number 3. So real quick, now that we're down to our top 2 issues of the week, I just have to say I honestly loved both of these issues so much. I thought they were both phenomenal and incredible in their own ways. They were unique, and they just brought something to the table for their own series. It sucks that I had to put one above the other one, but it is a top 5 list this week. So sadly, we have coming in at number 2, but seriously, This is a number one candidate. If I could give both of them number one, I really would. We've got coming in at number 2, this is Images, King of Spies, issue number 2. This is cover A for it, and this issue was incredible. I just got done saying how much I loved it. The artwork, the plot progression, the story, the characters, even the characters that we're being introduced to. I love this series so far. I know it's only 2 issues deep. I know it's a mini series. I think it's only 3 or 4 issues to be honest, but man, this one just progressed that first issue and just propelled it to a new dimension so much. I loved it. And now this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but it's going to be more of a spoiler about what the series itself is about. But it is going to kind of spoil some things as to why he is the way he is. So in the first issue, we found out that our main character is not just an assassin, but one of the best assassins that's ever lived. He finds out he's going to be dying in 6 months. So it kind of makes him rethink his life, everything that he's done over the years, all the people that he's killed. And he thinks, you know what? I'm tired of working for these agencies and just killing people who might not be bad, but just don't deserve it compared to some other people. He decides to change everything up, and now he is just a loose cannon, and he is killing every bad person, just scum of the earth that deserves it. No one can find him. No one knows where he is right now. And like I said, one of the best assassins that's ever lived, and now he is knocking off all of these bad guys. I loved it. I seriously highly recommend this one. It is phenomenal. Let's talk about this one a little bit more down low too. But we've got coming in at number 2 this week, Images, King of Spies, issue number 2. And here we go. This is it. My top read of the week we've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, The Department of Truth, issue number 15. This is cover B for it. I love this series. I love this issue. And I know I'm biased because I've talked about this before. I grew up watching sci-fi. I've seen all of the Bigfoot, Mothman, UFO, Loch Ness Monster encounters, and all the other crazy stuff that they have on that channel. I grew up with it. I soaked it all in. And I kind of kept up with it over the years too. Nothing crazy. Like, I don't actually have a tin hat on most of the time. Sometimes I do. But this just took something that I grew up with and just something people truly believed in. Even growing up, you know, people always said, oh, I wonder if it's real. I think I saw something. And that's what this is, except they're turning it into something that does turn out to be real. It's just everyone's ideas and things that people have seen just turn into something legit. And now you have the Department of Truth trying to put an end to that. This issue in particular, though. So that's why I do love the series, and that's actually why I gave it the number 1 choice. But this issue, too, really followed up with that, and it was such a unique issue to me. It's kind of written the same way as a few of the last ones, but this one was still a lot different. We just had so many just full pages of just art, just one solid picture. And the issue itself read more like a police report or someone that was being interviewed. And they're talking about the Department of Truth. They're talking about the Mothman and how it all started as they kind of wanted to see UFOs and what it led to. Such a crazy story. So unique to me. I don't know how he thinks of stuff like this. Let's talk about this one, just like King of Spies, more down in the comment section. I really don't want to spoil anything else. But man, even those pictures I put up, I loved it all. It was just such a fun read. I love this series. I cannot wait to see where they go with this. Eventually, a hardcover would be insane to have in the collection too. With that being said, we've got the Department of Truth, issue number 15, taking the crown at number 1. So what do you guys think about this week's new comic book day? Even though I got shorted on a couple books, and a couple of the books I was really looking forward to that I have high hopes for, the rest of the books I picked up were all fantastic. I really don't have anything negative to say about those books. I know I probably could have grabbed a couple other ones, especially you DC fans out there. I know you're probably watching this right now like, man, you had 7 books, you got shorted, you could have grabbed Detective Comics. I'm not sure if Nightwing was this week, but you probably could have grabbed a couple DCs. I'm going to do a separate video at some point, I promise that. But let me know down low in the comment section what your favorite book of the week was and which ones you think I should have been picking up as well. And thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.